So my name is Jonathan Zabraki. If you guys do not know who I am, I'm a realtor just like you. I've been a realtor for 14 years now. I love what I do, and I've had the privilege of, gosh, my first year I did about 10 million in sales. My second year about 14 million. My third year about 27 million. And I've hired and trained and coached realtors to join my group specifically. And probably in the last 12 months now, 14 months, I coach and train realtors all throughout America on how to have similar results. So today we got Jean on the call. So hello, Jean. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Jonathan?
I'm doing great. And Jean, oh my gosh, you're putting this stuff into practice and just starting to crush it, which is awesome. And Jean and I met gosh, middle of June, which is, boy, not even 60 days ago, probably 45 days ago we met. And your first listing of all time just happened, and it was 1,288,000. And within probably a week to 2 weeks of that listing, you got it pending. And you got it pending from basically doing an open house. So it's kind of like you used two strategies to make this happen out of the 11 ways. One was calling your top 150, people that already know you, like you, trust you. And the other was just doing an open house and doing it a certain way. So tell us a little bit what it's been like your first 40 days of one, getting into real estate, and two, starting to use this proven signature system of mine.
So I got my real estate license. I don't remember exact day, but it was sometimes in June. And then I was kind of trying to figure out ways I can jumpstart my career, because I have a very successful career before real estate, and I went to real estate because I want the flexibility, I want my freedom. At the same time, I also want to make money. So I want to get trained. I don't want to just be most of the realtor out there. They are just doing mediocre work. They have, one or maybe zero transaction a year. That's not what I wanted. I want to still be successful. So I was looking into this training program. I think I came across you. I don't know where I came across you, but I decided to give you a try to join the 3 days. And I actually kind of talked to my business partner, my broker, and we decided to, I decided to join. And then those 3 days, it was actually great, lots of information. Many of them, a lot of information are pretty common sense, but a lot of time what I found people is they complicate things too much. They are not really doing things they're supposed to be doing. They are chasing the very far away goal. They are not focused on what immediate things they could do. Also, I found a lot of realtors, they are just like chicken with their head cut off. They don't know what they are doing. They are running around. They are very busy, but it's not getting the result they wanted. After the 3 days, at that time I already know my listing is going to come in, and so I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with my listing? I don't know what I'm doing. So I thought this would be a great time for me to join your program, which I can get the coaching and also the reinforcement every week, through the phone calls, with you, and also the Monday with the whole group. So, I still continue learning. I still picking up a lot of nice things from you every time I talk to you. So I thought that was really neat. And also, like, one of the things I really think, Jonathan, you really helped me was, okay, so I think I told you this already. When I got this listing, I was actually thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm doing with this listing. So I ordered all those marketing material, nothing arrived. There's always bump on the road, right? So, but I was thinking, okay, just like you said, just go ahead and do it. People are not there to go see my material. They are there to see the house. They are there. I need to sell to them. They are buying a house. So I decided to show up. I I was actually kind of scared because I literally just listed the house. I listed the house on Thursday morning. My open house was on Sunday, and I was a little bit worried, so I didn't really put my open house schedule on MLS. I was, kind of worried. So, but then I put it on 0, and then I went there. I put out a lot of sign. I did spend a lot of time putting out sign, and then I have a few group of people who walk in, and then one of the group of people happened to be actually the buyer. I was able to connect with them, and I hit the jackpot. They don't have an agent, so I'm actually a dual agent in this $1.288 million listing, which is great for me. And then I think one of the things I also learned from you, Jonathan, is for the buyer, this is quote unquote is not the most perfect house. Even though they love the house, they want pool. And as you know, you cannot really get the perfect house because sometimes the kitchen need upgrade, sometimes the yard need to be trimmed up. I mean, there's a lot of things you couldn't have control, right? So I remember I was asking you what I should do because I kind of feel like the buyer has a little hesitation. Even though they want to put in an offer, they still keep dreaming about the pool, very nice pool in the backyard, and this house has no pool. So I think I call you up, and you are, well, just take them to see house with a pool. And then, that will reinforce them. If they really like the house you are listing, then they will make a decision at that time. If they don't like the house you are listing, at least you still have a buyer who you can take them out to see other houses. So I then quickly look up the MLS, figure out something that's similar to my listing, and I call up the buyer. And I say, hey, I found some property I can show you. The buyer was actually very shocked because they didn't think I would say that to them. But I still went and I showed them around, and which was, I think after the showing, I kind of feel like I hate them because they hate that house. They hate the house I showed them, not my listing, but the house I took them to. They even love the pool. I think they finally realized they cannot change the house, but they can put in a pool. And so I think it was at that time they realized that was the house they wanted. And also from talking with them, I also realized they went out to see house without me. So like you said, Jonathan, people don't just fixate on one house. They are still looking for other things. So I think by me taking them out there to see that pool house really strengthened their decision on purchasing this house. So that I thought that was really good. And I also run that idea by my broker too, after talking with you. Maybe it was after I showed the property to the buyer. I don't remember the sequence of events, but he said, yeah, that's a great idea. You could do that. And then if the seller, complained to you, because in this case I'm dual agent, I could always tell the seller, I'm trying to make sure people don't cancel escrow on you, so you don't waste a whole bunch of time on the buyer who are not serious. So that's what I tell to the seller. If the seller somehow discover I took the buyer to see other houses. So that's kind of that, but everything works very well, Jonathan, and I thank you so much. Whenever I have questions, you always get back to me very quickly, and so that was really helpful.
Nice, awesome. Well, good. I'm glad that's rocking. And so I guess I just want to ask too, like, okay, and I got an email from someone as we're talking here, and they said, well, how did Gene even get the lead to begin with? And basically, you got the lead because you called somebody that you already knew. You somehow reached out to them, right? Or they reached out to you?
It's actually, I'm quite lucky. It's actually one of my current clients through property management. But at the same time, I do a lot of, I already built a rapport with them. So I did have the advantage that way, and most people will be envy for the first listing is $1.28 million. But for me, recently, I actually got a referral from a friend. Because, I was telling I told a whole bunch of my friends I'm doing real estate, and then if you have any referral, please think about me. So I actually did get a referral from talking to my friend who is definitely my top 50 people. So yeah, so I did get a listing that way too. So right now I have 4 listings, and then I haven't even got my license for 3 months.
Nice. So if I'm hearing you right, it's you're using one of the signature ways is to connect with your top 150, I call it, right? People that already know you, like you, trust you, and you've been making phone calls out to them. You probably follow the dialogue on page 49, 50, 51, kind of that thank you, offer, ask.
Yeah, the
And
thank you offer ads is really it's a really great tool. I actually share that with my follow agents, and everybody was kind of, oh yeah, great, that's a great thing we could do. So yeah, it's definitely helpful. Just like I said earlier, it's very simple, but a lot of times people don't know how to apply, and you are there to teach us how to apply and make it work. So, I mean, the way I see it is, everybody can have your book, but if no one is teaching them, that book is still worthless, right? It's just like a movie script. Why they want to have the best actor and actresses? Because they can play much better than the general public. If someone give me a movie script, I'm not going to do I'm not even going to know what to do. So it's not just buying the material. I think you really need to have someone who show you how to do it. And that's kind of what I believe.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so now, after less than 60 days, you basically have 4 listings, give or take. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Wow. So
I'm looking at my active listing. I have 4. I mean,
Oh.
obviously, again, I'm quite lucky. I already have some existing clients, but they are not. They are from my property management business. However, many of the things you have taught us, I actually applied that to get the listing too, or at least after I get a listing, I was able to maintain or even improve my relationship with the seller, So that was helpful as well.
And none of these 4 people have bought or sold stuff with you. They've just done some business in the past with you, whether they've rented their home through you or something like that. So that's
Correct.
awesome. Yeah, kudos to you, Gene. And so, gosh, another question people have is, weren't you afraid to start calling your top 150? Like, what made you get over your fear? Well, A, did you even have fear? And then if you didn't have fear of calling your top 150, what made you get over that fear to call them?
I think before my job did not require me to go and get leads. I manage a company. I work inside the company. I need to do consultative sales on the phone, but I never really need to go out and get leads myself. So yeah, it is a little nerve-wracking, but I think the moment I make real estate my career, I think that changed because I need to make it work for me. So when I go out, when I buy sign, when I'm at the sign store, I give them my business card and I tell them, hey, I do real estate, and as you can see, I'm doing great, and I can be a good service to you. So please refer to me. So previously, I would never thought about that, but now I think I'm consciously making that work. And you do need to have thick skin, but at the same time, I mean, my brother who worked in insurance company, he actually told me, you just need to ask people and actually tell them how many people they need to refer to you. So for example, like the contractor I work with, in the past, I have never asked them for business. I literally never asked them, because I don't know. I just never really thought about it. Yeah. But then the moment I start asking, people start making the notices. And then my brother also say in insurance, they actually will ask their client, say, can I count on you to give me referral, like 3 referrals this month? And then they have that person make a promise to them. Well, obviously, in a casual way. But again, if you don't ask, people don't know you need referral. And if you do ask, then people will, at least they will remember that. And then if they hate you because you ask for referral, then don't ask them next time or make new friends, right?
Right, and you've been asking people, you've been following that dialogue of thank you, offer, ask for under 60 days. Has anybody told you yet, Gene, like, hey, stop asking?
No, I mean, previously I have sending out thank you card, but usually I don't make that a major task in my job, you know. But I think after attending your program, I really do think that was something I should do. And so I start writing out thank you card, and then people make notices. Like some people say, "Oh, it's so nice of you, send me thank you card." People don't do that anymore, so they definitely have me in on top of their mind. And I actually got 2 thank you card back from my thank you card. So that was kind of neat.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. So like out of the 11 different ways to get leads, you're doing the call the top 150, do the open house, send out thank you cards, and from that.
And I'm also doing events. So I went to the our local bank. Again, I think it really goes to show how important it is to tell people you really appreciate their referral. Like I've been doing business in the same bank probably, I don't know, in the past 10 plus year or 20 plus year. But recently, you know, I'm just being more aggressive in a nice way. Tell people, hey, you know, Nick, you know, I'm doing real estate. I open up the business account with you. Do you have any referral? Do you this? And then the banker then told me, oh yeah, let me introduce you to the loan officer. But he never did. He was just kind of saying that. So next time I went there again, I was like, hey, Nick, what can I do? You know, I mean, I'd be more than happy to bring business to your bank. And then so he introduced me to the loan officer. Then the loan officer immediately invited me to their loan day. You know, so they have a booth, a little table inside the branch, and then I can talk to people. And so I think I actually got 3 leads that day. I mean, they are not necessarily, some of them want to buy houses immediately, but I don't speak their languages. So unfortunately, I will need to pass on those leads. But at least I'm going out there to get leads. And so the loan officer was really happy with me. She invited me back to do another event with her, and then she said there was another realtor who worked with her, already got 2 deals closed. Okay. So and I just refer her someone who need to get pre-qualified, and again that was a lead I got from zero, and so it's a first-time buyer, has never used the agent before, and that was good for me. And so, and the buyer also liked me. So we have something going there. And then I also have events. One of my friends who does makeup, and so I let her follow our offices. And then I'm gonna go there to network. And there will be 20 new people I have never met before will be going there.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm putting a lot of things you taught into action. Obviously, there's only 24 hours a day. I cannot do everything you have taught, but I think for the things I could focus on, I mean, I definitely start seeing results. You know, I mean, my broker actually even say he can't even tell I just literally got my license. Like I'm doing a lot of things his seasoned agents won't even do. And I am not afraid, you know, right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You've been just a great realtor to help, Jean, and it's because you're doing this. You're doing DMA, which is difference making actions. And so many realtors out there will spend 40 hours, 50 hours, 80 hours a week doing all kinds of crazy stuff to maybe get business down the road. You're doing some of the 11 different ways where you can get business today or within a week. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And that's why you're seeing this great, you know, jump start of success. And gosh, kudos to you for doing it, right? Because it'd be really easy not to do these difference-making actions as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I just got a text from someone, and they asked, so ask Jean. They're like, why do you think you're taking action with this system where maybe other realtors aren't taking action?
That's a good question. So I think, I mean, personally, I don't know about the people who are in your system that much, you know, because I literally just joined your system a couple months ago. But I really do think a lot of things you say really make sense. And I personally already make that investment. I want it to work for me, and I'm very good with applying concept. You know, people who work with me before say that to me several times, many times. You know, so I can take a good idea and run with it. And I think, I mean, literally, I was actually telling my broker the open house sign probably worth like $30,000 or $40,000 because if I didn't put that open house sign, the buyer will not know about the house. They will not walk in. But you know, if I didn't attend that program, you know, like your program, I probably was still very scared, still thinking like I cannot do an open house if I don't have any marketing material. That's not true. I mean, people are there to see the houses. They are there to interact with me. And I did 2 open houses without nothing. I literally just got my brochure last Friday, and I already have a house in escrow.
Yeah, exactly. It's really important, and I have to hold myself back too from telling people about me, right? Because at an open house, many times I want to tell them, hey, I've been a realtor for 14 years. I've sold $371 million of real estate. Look at how great I am, right? And the buyers coming in, they don't care. Does that make sense? They're there to see the house.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. So I got a text and an email from someone too, and if anybody has a question, you can either text me or you can unmute yourself and ask the question. I know I asked Jean, gosh, if she could be on for like 10 to 20 minutes, and it looks like we're already past that time. So if you have any questions for Jean, definitely reach out. If you want to text me your question, my cell number is 858-212-1245. But I did get a question, Jean. Someone was asking, like, let's see, what does it say exactly? Okay, so Jean, you attended the 3-day event. Who would you recommend attend the 3-day event?
I really think it's someone who wants to make a successful real estate career should attend the event. I mean, like I say, in San Diego, there's roughly about 23,000 realtors, and I really do think most of the realtors are not making it. They have very little transactions, and they don't know directions, and they are not what they don't know what they are doing. And I think for me, I already make up my mind. I want to, you know, real estate is my career, and so if you want to have a jump start, go for the best teacher. And that's what I found. You know, I really do find you are very personable, and then very knowledgeable. And then I also share with you, my broker is a lawyer. My broker is a real estate lawyer. So I really do feel I have the best people on my team. You know, having a broker who is very strong in legal knowledges, who is also interested in teaching, but he's not a great marketing person. He told me that. He's like, I see myself as a legal counsel, but I'm not a marketing person. And so I did find I have a need to go out somewhere to get that, you know, need fulfilled. And so that's when I found you. And I also believe coaching does help tremendously, because someone is there to hold you accountable, and someone is there to bounce back idea with you. Definitely, you know, really help with me getting the deal, and also maintain great relationship with my seller. And like right now, I'm just doing like shameless marketing. Like for all the clients I met, I send them message to say, hey, look, check out this marketing website I did for this property, or check out the drone video. And then in the past, I would never say this, but right now I'm just saying it. Hey, do you know anyone who wants to buy and sell? Please think about me. Please recommend my services. You know, if you like how we are working right now. So people say, oh, of course I will. You know, and that's definitely helpful too.
Exactly. It's asking for business and asking for help. It's so easy to do, right? But it's so easy not to do. And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it's all about building relationships. Someone had just texted too. They're like, how long did it take you to get that listing? And I don't think that took you, like, you signed the listing within a week, and then I think it took you a couple of weeks to get the listing ready. Is that correct?
That listing, because it's my existing client, the first one, the one more than $1 million was my client. So we actually have the listing signed under my broker, and at that time, to be honest with you, I didn't even have my license, so I need to at least I want to grab that lead first. So I have it signed under my broker, but understanding that I will be getting a lead once my license, it's in fact.
Mm.
So it was a tenant occupied property. It was a little trickier, so I need to get the tenant out there, and the owner was kind of pushing me to get the property. So I keep telling her I know what I'm doing, even though I didn't really know what I'm doing. But actually, in my head, I already thought about all the marketing things I want to do. I just haven't really put that into work yet. So the tenant move out. If everything happened so quickly, the tenant move out. I don't know, July, middle of July. I need to get the property ready, so it took about a week or two. Then I got a drone video. Then I put the property on the market. Then it went to pending in less than 2 weeks, and so everything just happened very quickly. But the buyer didn't even know I have never sold any houses before. They were very, very happy with me. In fact, Jonathan, they probably will list their house with me too. And I will look it up. That's roughly about $800,000 house, so not bad.
So
And
that'll be your fifth listing in less
that's
than
also
60
not
days.
gonna work. Yes, that would be great.
So by doing all this, like less than 2 months ago we met, and when we met, you didn't really have a predictable income in real estate. Now after 60 days, and after attending the event and signing up for the coaching and the mentoring with myself, do you feel that you now have a very predictable income?
um, I I don't know. I could say that or not because I'm still a little scared, but I know what I'm doing and I know what I could do to market my services now, and I do have much more confidence than before. And I mean, the agent in our brokerage didn't. Most people didn't even realize I just got my license. Because they were like, oh my God, you know what you are doing? I'm like, not really, but I'm learning as it goes. But I really do think, in order to get listing, obviously you need to have the trust from the seller, right? So I think that's the most important thing. But I mean, the research out there also shows 70% of seller only interview one agent. So if you could get a referral from your friends or family or even acquaintance, the chance of you getting a listing, think about it, 70%. It's really high. So just need
Crazy.
to, yeah, just need to figure out ways to get lead and then follow up with leads, and then also know how to talk to them. Also know how to make sure you know they are set on using you as a realtor by showing them the marketing plan we have
Mhm.
we have, so that
Yep.
was helpful too. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to jump on that real quick too. And so, and I guess I just a shout out. My gosh, if you guys are, if you're on this call, um, you want to take your business to a different level. Just like Jean did, right? And one of the things Jean did was she took the step of signing up for this 3-day event. And the 3-day event is 3 solid days of me telling you exactly how I went from zero to $371 million of sold real estate within the last 14 years. And I still sell real estate. In fact, I got to deposit this check, Gene. This one's for, I don't know if you can tell, it's 27,000.
Mm-hmm.
The closing that happened on Monday, and that's my ninth closing this year that's over $25,000. And I tell you, when you have 9 closings a year over 25,000, your life changes, right? And my expenses this year are Not that much. Probably a lot less than people would think. Let's see. I'm at 30. Gosh, my eyesight. $38,407 in expenses. And so my ROI is probably about, well, it's very good, right? If you can do the math, and I think I've now helped out 16 families for the year. And I do what I preach, right? And I think that's the big difference, is that I'm a realtor, and I'm just willing to help other realtors duplicate my success. And so if you haven't signed up for the 3-day event, sign up. Like, don't wait. It's limited to 30 realtors. The investment's 100% guaranteed, meaning you come to the 3-day event, I guarantee you that you'll walk away with a really clear picture of how you're going to be able to add an additional $300,000 of income within 12 months. And if you don't feel you got that, you just let me know, and I refund you back 100% of what you paid. And we go over tearing down the walls and the obstacles that are standing between you and real wealth and happiness. Right? It's all about building an ELF business, which is easy, lucrative, and fun. And step one is sign up for the event. We go over the 7 levels of progression, right? So for me, step number 1 is, hey, we want to get you to $50,000 gross commission income within 90 days. That's kind of step 1. And it sounds like, yeah, Jean's already there, so kudos. You did it in less than 60 days. And then so step 2 is, hey, we want to get you to $150,000 gross commission income within 6 months. And then step 3 is we want to get you to $300,000 of gross commission income within a year. Step 4 is $400,000 within 2 years. Step 5 is kind of a big jump, but I want to get you to $500,000 of net income. So gross commission minus expenses, net income. And so to get $500,000 of net income within 3 years, and I can go into the other 2 phases, but I mean, just stopping at that phase, oh my gosh, if you could make $500,000 of net income, would that be life-changing? And for most of us, it would be life-changing. And so step 1 is sign up for the event, all the tactics, all the strategies. It's 100% straight from the real world. There's no theory. It's not like I've learned it from someone and I'm passing it on to you. It's like I've done it, and I continue to do it. We go over the 11 different ways to really attract premium clients. We go over making sure that you're doing the difference-making activities, what I call DMA, which most people really struggle with because they do all kinds of stuff that is okay, but it's not difference-making. And we go over the 3 things. And so I guess out of the 3 things, Gene, I know we talk a lot about attracting premium clients, converting those leads into a great client, meeting for an initial consultation, getting them to sign and say, yes, I want to work with you, and then delivering a phenomenal experience that they then refer you more people, or in this case, not only do you help them buy that $1.2 million property, you're going to help them sell their $800,000 property. And all 3 of those things are so critical. Attract premium clients, attract premium leads, convert those leads into clients, and then deliver a phenomenal experience. And one of the ways, because someone was asking me, like, well, what do you do? So once you get one of these listings, or if you're in an appointment, what do you say to them? And so what I do, I show them an example. So I just picked this one up today. This is a brochure of a $950,000 property in my area. And it's just an MLS printout on the back and some information on the front. Here's another one. This is a $1.4 million house, typical brochure. And then I show them my brochure. And my brochure is 12 pages in length. It's really crystal clear. There's not much about me. It doesn't say how great I am, but it does say this. If you're interested in seeing the house, call me. And that phone number is really big compared to this brochure, and you can see their phone number, right? And to me, I want my phone number to be big because I want people to call. I don't want to have people search and search and search to try and find out how to call me. Or, on this one, it's a little bigger, but this person's got email, fax. It looks like they got 4 different websites. I mean, mine is really simple, and the website is that. That's it. They're going to go to that home property website because the buyer doesn't care about me. Does that make sense? The buyer doesn't really care about you initially. The buyer cares about buying that house. And that's what I love about my signature system is it works, it's proven. I've done it in 2 different markets, Minnesota and now San Diego. And someone like Gene can apply it, get great results. Somebody like Dan, who's been a realtor for 37.5 years, can apply it and go from close to $2,000 a month to close to $20,000 a month. The last 4 months running. I mean, that stuff is life changing. So yeah, if you have not signed up for the event, sign up. If you sign up before, and I guess I should ask you, Jean, are you coming to the next event?
I think so. I think I should have that on my calendar. The calendar is booking up very quickly. It's a little crazy right now.
Yeah. Well, what we'll do, if you're okay with it, I'll say for everybody who signs up for the event before tomorrow at midnight, I'll buy lunch, and they can have lunch, a private lunch with you and I. Does that sound okay?
Sure.
And they can ask us any questions they want, pick our brains. So if you sign up for the event between now and midnight tomorrow, when you come to the 3-day event, I'm buying lunch. I'll be there, so at least you can pick my brain, and there's a good chance that Jean will be there, and you can ask Jean any question you want, and we'll see if I can even get a couple of the other folks who are having some great results, and I'll ask them to come to lunch as well, and we'll go from there. So, okay, last thing on the event is I always do 4 bonus calls before the event. I've already done 2 of those bonus calls, so there's 2 remaining. So jump on board and get signed up on that, and I'll send you the replays of the last 2 events. And gosh, so enough with me talking. What questions do you have for Jean, or what questions do you have for me, or what questions do you have about the event? And maybe since I muted people, I might have to unmute people. So if you can unmute yourself to ask a question, now is the time. And let's see, I know I got a text from someone. Okay, so they're asking, let's see, it says, Jean, what have been the 3 most impactful things that you learned from the conference?
I would say, get rid of your personal belief. Don't believe, there's a lot of things people tell you, or you just pick it out. You are like, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. I said that's something I learned. Your personal belief is the one hindering your success. So definitely be open-minded, and don't think if you are a new realtor, you are not going to be able to get multi-million-dollar listing just like me. I know I'm very lucky, and just like a lot of people told me, oh, you are so lucky. No one ever sold houses during open house, but I did. And it was even my first open house, And so, there's a lot of things. Don't let people tell you you couldn't do it. So that was one thing. You know, you just need, and then another thing follow up with that is just do it. So don't let your personal belief hinder your success, and just do it. That was another thing, you know, like, because if I were thinking, oh, I'm so scared, I don't have anything to show people, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't have any backup for me, you know, I'm the only person there at the open house, then I won't show up to that open house. But I did. I went there early. I put out many signs, and then people noticed me. In fact, I have another agent call me during my open house and want to get together with me. And he's a very seasoned agent. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope you didn't know. I actually text my my company. I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know why he's going to ask me. I was all scared. And then other people say, oh, don't worry. You know, just show them how much you know and this and that. So that was good, and so those are the two main things. You know, don't let your belief hinder your success, and then just do it. And then the third thing is, don't be afraid to ask for referral. I know a lot of people being trained not to ask for referral for their other job. I mean, I was like that. You know, I was working in a company, I was making great money, but I never really need to go out and get business, you know. I mean, in a way like real estate agent would. But now, since I'm doing real estate full-time and I really want to make a very successful career, real estate is definitely a people business. It's a relationship business. And you need to get referral, and the best way to get referral is from the person who you know. Because the people who they know is going to think about you guys have a common person, so instantly you're going to have credibility right there. So like my most recent listing, I got that from a friend's friend. I didn't know him. Literally, my friend just called me up in the middle of the night. Literally, I was like 11 o'clock. Jean, are you still awake? I'm like, yes, I'm awake. So what can I do for you? So he started talking about something, you know, for most people probably will not think it's attractively, but for me, I know this friend. He's a very resourceful person. He has a lot of friends. So I'm like, sure, I will do a favor for your friend. And no big deal at all. The next day, his friend called me, and I didn't wait on it. I went to meet his friend, like within 3 hours, you know, at his house. And so everything just started going from there. You know, it's like don't be afraid to ask referral. Let people know you will appreciate their referral. And then also act very quickly. I think that's another thing I found. You know, I got leads. If you don't act quickly, people are in the market to buy or to sell, and if you snooze, you lose, right? That's what people say. So just act quickly. So did I?
That's awesome. Awesome, Jean. So I jotted that down. So the four big things you learned at the conference were BS, which we all have BS, which means a belief system, right? Most of our belief system is a little wacky. Right? We kind of sabotage our own success. And number two is just do it, which is, you know, put into action these 11 proven ways. Number three is ask for referrals. I like to say ask for introductions. And number four is act quickly. And so awesome. Kudos for answering that. And you know, I wrote a couple of cards out where it's like, to me, I mean, it truly is this. If you're going to be a realtor, you might as well learn and apply these proven principles so that you just enjoy a new level unimaginable to most folks, right? Because some people ask me, they're like, well, Jonathan, you must be Superman because how can you do $371 million in real estate in 14 years in 2 different markets where you didn't know anybody, right? Like, I knew nobody in Minnesota except for my bride. I don't know anybody when I first moved to San Diego, and it's not that complicated, right? And you're doing it now too, Jean. And really, it's like people ask me like, well, why in the world should we listen to you, Jonathan, right? And I mean, how in the world did you get so like filthy rich and ridiculously happy, right? And for me, the biggest one is ridiculously happy, because money can easily come and go. I'm all about having an easy, lucrative, and fun business, and I'm finally comfortable now admitting that like my career is really legendary. It really is different. And it's not that I'm some special person. It's not that, Gene, you're a special person. It's just we realize we got to be a little crazy to be a realtor, and we got a little bit of that entrepreneurial blood that is like we just can't stop ourselves. We can't stop ourselves from helping people, right? Picking up the phone at 11 p.m., Gene, that's pretty cool, you know? It's like your friend is reaching out to you, and it's like you're there for them. And it doesn't mean you got to work 100 hours a week or 80 hours a week, but at the beginning, you might have to work harder than what you're currently doing. You might have to work a little smarter than what you're currently doing. But for me, I just had one thing going, and the big one thing that I have going for me, and I'd say for you too, Gene, is that most of our competition, most of the realtors out there are extraordinarily bad at taking prolonged action. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. They took forever to do things. I think that was one of the things. Might be my negative too. It's like I don't have a lot of patience. So when I thought about some idea, I would just want to do it and implement it. And for some people who take forever, it drives me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really like the foundation for all real estate success is taking action, but taking action doing the right stuff. So I don't have a CRM. My CRM is this black binder with duct tape on it. That's my CRM, right? I don't think I do Facebook ads. I don't know if I have a website, but it's a really simple formula, what I follow and what I do, and it's kind of boiled down to 5 things, which is prepare as much as possible, dive in, just do it, ignore your fears, celebrate success, and then improve. And that's what I love about Gene. I mean, Gene's already got 4 listings with another one in the hopper within 60 days of being a realtor, within 60 days of putting the signature system into place. And I asked Gene, I'm like, hey, Gene, so do you feel comfortable? And Gene's kind of like, well, I want to keep improving. You know what I mean? I know I can get better. And it comes down to this. This is what Gene and I do. We call people, right? We're really, really clear. We're passionate on how we call people. And, I mean, if you need a boost in your real estate career, get to the 3-day event, sign up for it. You can sign up. There's probably a link on this page, or you can go to profitsandpassions.com, because I believe every realtor in America should be making $300,000 a year. If you're not, you gotta come to the event. You gotta learn how to do it once and for all. You deserve it. Your family deserves it. To me, it's all about being nice, right? I think we kind of forget that sometimes as realtors. I think the nicer I am, the more business I get. I know for Jean, the nicer she is, the more business she gets. Jean's not a cutthroat person. I'm not a cutthroat person, right? We're not focused on expireds or FSBOs or talking to people that really don't even want to talk to us, right? It's focused on talking to people that are interested in buying and selling a home, and it starts with our top 150, our top 25, communicating with lenders, builders. I'm looking at my list of, the 11 ways to just get so much business coming in that you can now start to cherry pick who you're working with. So, oh my gosh, we got to wrap up here soon. Does anybody have any other questions for Jean or myself? And I know I got a text or an email from Rick, and Rick was asking, hey, what do you do if you don't have a really nice brochure like this, right? Well, step 1, I would say come to the 3-day event. When you sign up for the 3-day event, you instantly get my guide to your success, which is everything that Gene and I put into practice, like verbatim, what to do, what to say, how to do it. And you get examples of this brochure, and I send you out a hard copy. So you can now have a hard copy of this 12-page brochure that you can show people to say, hey, when you list your house with me, this is basically an example of the brochure that I'm going to create for you, compared to, here's the typical brochure, right? And so what I do is, before I go on a listing appointment, I just pull 2 or 3 of the brochures around the neighborhood, and then I show them, these 2 examples, which are pretty basic, and then my example, the fact of the website on the bottom, and away it goes. So yeah, sign up for the 3-day event, Rick, and you'll get that. You'll get it in electronic format. You'll get it in print format. I'll send it out to you. But we'll also get on those 4 bonus calls before the event, so you can start putting this stuff into action. In fact, just today was the 2nd phone call, right? And get this, Gene, somebody put into practice calling their top 150, and they got a $475,000 listing. And she's like, I know, exactly. They're like, I would have never gotten that if I wouldn't have known what to do, and I didn't have the confidence in what to say. So isn't that cool?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you, it's like, it doesn't matter if you're man, woman, black, Hispanic, Caucasian, Asian, speak a lot of English, speak no English. It doesn't matter, right? It's like, go serve people, be nice to people, say the right thing at the right time, and success will come your way. It's really cool. It's a great signature system that works. And if you're tired of piecemealing different systems together, like, stop it, right? And just come to the event, be done with it, and it's guaranteed. You will walk away by the end of the 3rd day with a very clear picture of how you'll be able to make $300,000 or more in additional income. Bottom line, period, guaranteed. And if you don't feel that way at the end of the 3-day event, you let me know, and I refund you back 100% of what you paid. So, yeah. At the last event, Gene, you know that, right? 2 people came up to me and asked for their money back, and I gave it back to them, right?
I didn't really pay attention to that much, but I know there were some people not happy. But, I think I've been doing this for, some year now, a couple of years for real estate, for property management, and I have some gray hair now, so I could say, in the past, when I literally just started doing this, I was in the mindset of everybody need to like me, everybody need to say I'm doing a good job. But I think it just recently I came to the realization I cannot please everybody. There will always be people who don't like me, regardless how much I do, regardless how much money I give back to them. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm actually like that. I'm like, okay, if you think I'm doing a horrible job, as long as I'm following the law, I'm not worried about it. If you want to sue me, come be my guest. My broker is a lawyer, so I know I'm doing everything legally. So anyhow, I think it's one of those things. There will always be people who don't like you. There will always be people who hate you, who think you do a horrible job. And I think in the past I did let that drag down on me. But right now I think I'm just not even worried about it. I have bigger fish to catch, and that's why Yeah, so Jonathan, I didn't even remember people were asking you for a refund, but I know there were people who were not happy. They walk out.
Right. And all I do, I say, hey, cool, here's your money back. Have a great day. We part as friends. And I think it's so shocking to people, because I think they expect me to argue or to fight, and it's like, nope. It's the same way I do business with buyers and sellers, right? It's one of my 3 guarantees. I tell them, hey, you can fire me at any time for any reason, and we're done, and that's okay. And if you take a look at the reviews online on Zillow or Realtor.com, for me, you Google my name or type it into those places, I probably have some pretty negative reviews, right? And that's okay. It's like it's not hurting my business. I don't stay awake at night. I just realized that, hey, it's America, and some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting, and it's just like if we could Google Disneyland is the worst thing ever today, and there'd probably be 3 million entries on there, right? Mm-hmm. Some people are just, how would I phrase it? It just isn't a good fit, right? And so it's kind of like it is what it is, and but it's something I believe so firmly in this that I'm willing to guarantee that you'll make an additional $300,000 of income within a year. And if you don't see that by the end of the third day, you just let me know. I refund you back 100% of what you paid. We part as friends. There's no ill feelings or bad will. It just is. So I try and make it as simple as possible for Gene for people to attend the event, because I truly want to help them, right? I get my greatest joy out of, well, I should say this. I've now made a little over $9 million of income, right, as a residential realtor, and I've spent a lot of money, but I've also saved a lot of money. And I'm a financial planner, a stock trader before I got into real estate, and I'm sitting well financially, and I think that helps me because I just want to help people, right? And if you feel I can help you, come to the 3-day event. If you feel like, hey, I'm 100% set, I don't want my life to get any better, then yeah, it'd be crazy for you to come to the 3-day event. And I would say probably, I'd even ask you probably not to, because I limit it to 30 realtors, because it's more of a workshop. And so when you came to the event, Gene, was it just me up there preaching for 3 days, or was there a lot of interaction?
There were a lot of interaction. There were a lot of role playing, which I do appreciate it, because it's always good to see how other people do it, because you cannot see how you are doing it, right? So you need to observe other people. So I thought that was really good, and I picked up a lot of tips on, if this situation happened, then this is what you say. And then also one of the things, I think one of the things really one of the things so you and me, obviously there are many things, but one of the things was, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I think I went up to you and I said, Jonathan, I would like to have a 30 seconds answer, if people say, my house on Zillow is at this price, why are you saying my house is only worth, $100,000 less? And you, even without thinking about it, you were able to give me an answer. So I know you are well knowledge in this real estate area, and I also know you are thinking on your feet. And so those are the things I'm looking for, for someone who there to teach me. Because you can only get better by associate yourself with someone who's better than you, right? Mm-hmm. So if I don't go and get someone who knows how to do it, I'm just going to be here like a regular realtor who does maybe 2 deals a year and think they are great. Jonathan, I don't know, I told you or not, I lost one of the listing to a realtor, and she's from a big name company. So I think the major reason the seller didn't pick me is because I'm with a small company. But guess what, Jonathan? That seller still pretty much contact me every single day, because she's not quite happy with the realtor, but she signed a contract, and then she said, oh yeah, if we don't sell by a certain time, then I want you to manage the property. Then next year you will be the one to sell this property. So I don't know. It's one of those things. I think I put a lot of things you taught into action, and then there are certain things I just don't have control. I cannot change people's belief. You need to go for a big company. But at the same time, I think that seller was pretty pretty regretful because I show her my listing and I show her the drone video I have. I show her my 3D virtual tour. I show her my brochure. I show her everything. And then in the meantime, her house went to escrow, but it got canceled. so I want to, obviously, remember I told you I want to prevent that. So I brought the buyer to see other houses and make sure they don't cancel on me on the escrow. So yeah, I did learn a lot from you, and yeah, I think that was one of the things from that questions. I know you really do know what you are talking about, and I actually share that example with agent in my company, in our company, and then also our broker. My broker was so funny. He said, "I'm gonna save this example." So that was good.
Oh yeah, it's well, and thank you. I appreciate that. It's yeah, we all need a boost, right? I mean, and I think a lot of times we're some of us are information junkies, right? We're just looking for information, and I tell people like, hey, you'll probably enjoy the event. It'll be a fun experience, but if you're looking for more information, just to have more information, it's like save your money and your time. But if you're looking to truly get the information from somebody who's an insider, like myself, who's actually been there, done that, and currently doing it, and I still got to go deposit this $27,000 check today, but it'll probably be tomorrow now from a closing I just had yesterday. And I can show you how to get these kind of checks like once a month. Then yeah, if you're willing to put the stuff into action, do it. And it's not FSBOs, it's not expired, it's not calling 100 people out of the phone book. It's communicating with people that probably already are very high on this mountain of interested in buying or selling a home. And to me, it's about having relationships. So realtor is kind of a root word for relationship, and I think we've gotten away from that, right? We've kind of said, okay, instead of calling somebody, I'm going to text them. Instead of communicating happy birthday to someone, I'm going to put it on Facebook, you know? And it's just like, okay, that's an option, but I'm telling you, like, people crave human interaction, and that's, Gene, what you're doing. 90% of what you're doing, Gene, is making those phone calls, interacting with people face-to-face, having coffee, having lunch, doing that 3-step proven process of thank you, offer, ask, and just helping them. And it's like you and I would help people even if we didn't get paid for it. You know, it's like it's just somewhere in our DNA of like we just want to help people, and I think that's that is a huge component for your success. And what's also great about that is the majority of realtors out there, they don't really care much about people, right? And as I said earlier, that's the huge thing that I have in my favor is that the majority of realtors out there are traditional realtors, right? It's just like, boy, I'm looking to make a check, I'm looking to shake somebody's hand, say enjoy the house, and I'll see you in 80 years, right? And it's kind of like waving bon voyage on a boat, and then they leave, and now that realtor never calls them again, never takes them out for a birthday lunch. They don't do that stuff, right? Instead, maybe they send them a card once a quarter saying, turn your clocks back, or turn your clocks forward. And it's like, I don't know. That's not much of a relationship, in my opinion. So every client that I help, I'm always thinking, like, gosh, this is going to multiply. So even as you're talking, Gene, you got 4 listings within 60 days of putting this system into practice. You're probably close to 4 million, give or take, in sales. And to me, it's really cool because if you keep doing what you're doing, 60 days from now, you're going to have another 4 million just because, and you're probably going to have another 4 million just from the introductions from those 4 people. So really, probably in 60 days, you'll probably be sitting at about 12 million in sales, and that's really, really cool. It almost makes me cry, you know, because it's just like, man, this stuff is so simple. When you get rid of the BS, the belief system that has been holding you back, and instead put on a different hat, a different belief system that is just more productive. So awesome. Okay, we got to wrap up because I got to go out to dinner with some friends and build relationship. And if they do business with me or they don't do business with me, they're still my friends, right? And that's, I think, different. Like sometimes realtors are like, hey, I'll be your friend, but only if you do business with me. That's called commission breath. And that repels people like crazy. So don't do that. If you have a friend and they choose your mortal enemy as a realtor, so be it. It's you know, some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. If you haven't signed up for the 3-day event, get signed up today. Like I say, if you sign up between now and tomorrow at midnight, I'll take you out to lunch at the 3-day event. You can ask me any questions you want. Jean will be there, so you can ask her any questions that you want. If for some reason Jean isn't there, I guarantee you there'll be some other coaching students that I work with that'll be there. You can ask us anything you want, and we'll answer it for you. So sign up between now and tomorrow, and you get that. You also, the day you sign up, I should say that the minute you sign up, you're going to be scheduled for 4 bonus calls. These are group calls with people that are going to be attending the event. We're going to go over what you can do immediately to get a result. Just like this one lady got a $475,000 listing just from one of the bonus calls. You're going to get my 104-page guide as to how to truly make it happen. It's really clear, the 11 different ways to get leads. I should put 11 fingers up, and exactly how to do it, when to do it, my buyer presentation, my listing presentation, my marketing materials in electronic format, and I'll send you a couple in print format. I really, really want to help you out, and I want to help you out today. That's why I do all this stuff. I don't want you to have to wait weeks until the event happens. Get signed up today. Get this stuff. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Jean, for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for putting the stuff into action, because it'd be really easy to get this stuff, right? Get the guide to your success and say, oh, that's really cool, and then put it on the shelf and, you know, look at it. So I just got a text from my tech guy, and he says, we're getting very close to closing out the event. So I'm not sure what that means, but I know at the beginning of the day it was already 50% sold out. So I know this email's gone out to about 7,000 realtors. So if you have not signed up for the event, sign up before it is gone. Awesome. Jean, thanks again for being here. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. See you guys. Have a great day.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.